Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, put 2 big buttons.
I was going to say, you want to get a bit closer, mate? Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Don't keep touching it.
Stop it. Don't touch my legs.
Afternoon. Gail?
Yeah. Scott, everyone present correct and fit to go tomorrow?
Yep.
Talk to us some other midfield combinations for England. What's it look like in training with Owen, Manu and what can we expect from them tomorrow? What have you seen?
Well, look, you've got 3 class players, haven't you, all together? So Ben Teo drops out and Manu comes in. So it's a bit of like with like.
I mean, Eddie said yesterday, he said contradictions in life. He said he was never going to play at anything but 13, but he's played at 12, adapted to it well enough.
Yeah, look, that's my job. If he hasn't, I've failed. So, yeah, I've got all the confidence in the world in Manu.
How big a challenge is Scott making that switch from a player who's played most of his rugby at 13 to 12?
Yep.
How big a challenge is that?
Look, it's. I don't think it's that big a challenge. He's got great players either side of him. So I mean, Henry's really grown into that 13 role. Owen's world class. So he feels pretty comfortable there.
Is there any more risk to playing with 12 in terms of slightly more contacts closer to the forwards? The impacts might be that little bit more.
You reckon he doesn't like contact?
No, but given the history.
Yeah, look, I mean, mate, he's fitting well. He's in a good headspace. Physically, he's running really, really well. So there's no reason for us to fear playing him at 12 at all. Yep.
What unique challenges do Ireland pose?
Look, they're a very well organised team, well coached. They've got very, very good players that have played a lot together, which I think's one of the advantages with the system here in Ireland. A smaller pool where they get continuity. So I think that consistency of combinations for them is something that you'll see, and they can hold the ball for a long period of time. I mean, we saw it last year's Six Nations, the game against France, right at the back end where they had to hold the ball and they went the full length and won the game. So they're an outstanding team.
What did you make of the decision to put Henshaw at fullback?
Look, I was surprised, but I can understand why. So, look, right after this, I'm actually going to catch up with Andy Friend, the coach at Connacht. So I've done my homework. We've looked at his games from when he did play fullback in 16, I think it was. But look, I think he's a very, very good player. Very good player. So he'll adapt.
You'd have seen Ireland's November, and especially that winner of the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Locked after that day was made of the Andy Farrell defensive system.
Yep.
And how hard that is to crack. What's your plan to crack it?
Score more points than they do. Yeah, look, we'll chip away. We've got some things in place, but I mean, I'd be pretty naive to actually tell you what we're going to do right now. So, but we've studied that really hard, and obviously the other guy that we've tapped into is Steve Borthwick, spending time with him on the Lions tour. So, we're full of respect of the system.
You can talk a bit about the Irish kicking game. Is it the best in the world at the moment, do you think?
Yeah, it's shrewd. It's very shrewd. Once again, I think that comes with the combinations. They play a lot of rugby together, and a lot of high-class rugby, pressure rugby, which means that you have to have a good kicking game, whether that's from 9, 10, or on the edges. They kick well.
George, do Ireland possess the best line out in world rugby, or are they perhaps the biggest challenge to go up against in Ireland?
They've got some good athletes. You know, they've got good tactics within it as well. You've seen some good battles between them and New Zealand, and you know, you put them as kind of the benchmark at the moment. You know, we're very confident in our own line-out. We've got a good line-out in ourselves. But yeah, they've got some good tactics, and like Wisey said, they kind of study you well. Then they've got plans for you, so they're a well-coached team.
Peter O'Mahony's kind of seen their guru there. What makes him such a dangerous player to play against?
He's just quite unpredictable, I think. You know, he wants to get up in the air as well. He's not afraid of going up. So yeah, you pair those two things together, and you've got a good combo.
So word on Devon Toner, just on his line-out operation. He's obviously a key man for them. How big a challenge is coming up against him?
Yeah, I mean, the man's a fairly tall lad, so there's a challenge in itself. But look, he's a big lad. So you can try and move him about a bit, but yeah, he's a good operator. You know, he's been in the mix for a good while now. So, but we've taken a good look at him, taken a good look at how they want to run their line out, and yeah, we've got plans accordingly.
In terms of the physical contest, a lot's been made ahead of that. You know, how do you prepare for an assault like that you can expect tomorrow?
I think at this point it's all mentally now. You know, they've got a good pack. Irish teams normally do, but we're pretty confident in ourselves as well. We've got some great players back from injury. We've got a really good bench as well. So yeah, there's some players that are left out in our squad as well, which are, you know, top class players. So we'll be fully ready, and it's just mentally switching on now for us.
And how big is it to have somebody like Billy Nicola back in the pack?
Yeah, good. You know, he's a big old boy. You know, and he adds his weight. He doesn't. He's not carrying at the end of the game. You know, he's putting shots about and doing his thing. So he's played maybe 3 or 4 80s recently. So yeah, for us it's
Has he been like a cold spring in training, ready to get back into that England shirt again?
Yeah, you could see he's a man who kind of wears his heart on his sleeve. He gets emotional sometimes if he's not playing, and he's had a bit of that in the last kind of year and a half now. So yeah, he's excited to get back and do his thing really.
Well, this says a lot about the strength and depth in England's squad, that a man like Joe Launchbury can't get into the matchday squad. Therefore, how much responsibility is it on those that are selected, like yourself in the second row, to take the opportunity? Yeah, massively. No places for granted. We're extremely lucky that over the last kind of three years or so that we've had a load of different combinations, and when it comes to this sort of kind of phase in a World Cup and a Six Nations period, then yeah, we've got options. So it makes training competitive, it makes playing competitive, and ultimately it makes us a better squad. Do you see coming here to Dublin and playing Ireland, a team ranked second in the world now, won the Grand Slam last year, among the favourites for the World Cup, is this now on a par with going to New Zealand in terms of the biggest challenges you can face in rugby right now, do you think? Yeah, this is our next challenge, you know. So tomorrow is our next challenge. It's all we can prepare for. It's all we've done in the last few weeks. You know, every thought's going into this. So for us, this is our next challenge. We realise they're a good team, full of confidence, but you know, we're a well-prepped team as well, and we've had some great strength and depth. So yeah, we'll be flying.
Where do you see the key battlegrounds tomorrow?
I think up front's going to be a big one, and I think we've spoken previously about the kicking game. Yeah, I think those two areas are going to be huge.
What's the plan for this evening? Will you watch the other game, or will you be focusing on tomorrow? Yeah, probably watch it. Like I said, it's about getting yourself mentally right. You know, and every individual does that differently. So for me, I'll probably watch the game, put my feet up, get a feed in, and get some early kit.
George, I think you were here in 2015. What's the atmosphere like? What's the, in terms of the crowd? What's the
it's a great stadium to play at. You know, these are the sort of games which you really realise it's a privilege to kind of play in them. You know, full house,
big start to a campaign against a top quality team. So yeah, we will realise we're extremely fortunate to be in this position. You know, and like I said, we're going to get ourselves mentally switched on for this game.
George, has anything been said about last year and the fact that Ireland won the Grand Slam in your own home stadium, and how you'd like to get something back here in Dublin now for that?
Not particularly. Obviously, we'd have taken points from it, but yeah, we've had a few competitions between that since then. So yeah, we're building and we're getting in the right place.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, lads.
Thank you.
Cheers.